Today, I'm going to be breaking down the exact 6 steps that I use to scale my agency over 10K per month. It's a simple guide you guys can follow. It is not complicated. It is made for people who are just starting out. So maybe you're not sure what niche you should go after, what service to do, how to get your first appointment, how do you close deals, how do you do fulfillment, Facebook ads, service delivery. So all of these things, I'll be going over it through this video. It is not going to be complicated. It's just again, step-by-step game plan you guys can follow today to get the ball rolling with your agency. So a complete beginner's guide to making your first 10K per month with your agency, with your SMMA. First off, why should you even listen to me? Well, basically in the past 12 months, I was able to generate over $1 million in revenue for my agency. And this is how quickly I was able to scale my first agency. So as you can see, I started in November. And then over the course of a couple of months, I was able to scale it to $80,000 per month. And of course, today it's a lot higher than that. All right, so this is sort of testament on how quickly I was able to get the ball rolling. I know for many people, they've probably been in a space for a couple of months. They understand the lingo. They know more or less what you're supposed to be doing. But for some reason, the ball is not rolling. They are not signing clients. They are not seeing the results that they want. In my training, I really just broke down what I did. I did not listen to these gurus online. I did not follow anyone's advice on how to start our agency. I really just went off of pure instinct and also previous experience that I gained by working in my door-to-door knocking sales job. But what's more important to me is not really my results, but more so what was I able to do for my clients. So as you can see, for me, what's even more impressive is being able to communicate or share the methods that I used and help other people replicate my type of results. So as you can see, these are some of the people that we have in our free school community. So we have Sam Davis, signed his first client within 3 weeks of joining our free school community. Olaf signed 2 clients who paid him $1,500 each. So he went from making 0 to 3K per month relatively quickly when he decided to join us. And then lastly, we had Praveen, 2 clients at 2K per month each in his first month of joining our school community. So as you can see, it's not just me being able to do these results, because I think many people are able to, like people who have had successful agencies can replicate those results even if they start from 0. However, I think being able to teach someone how to do it and have that person do it on their own, I think that's a lot more difficult to do. All right, this is why I'm more so proud of these case studies. And of course, we have a lot more, which I'll be showcasing exactly how we've been able to help them. And here are just a couple of examples for you guys to look at. So again, if you want to meet these exact people, so people like Olaf, like Praveen, there's going to be a link in the description to our free school community. Okay, so just click the link. I'll give you access, and then from there you'll basically be able to communicate with the people I've been helping, been working with, and you're also going to gain access to my free 2-hour training that I just specifically recorded for the school community. So you can view this training as this video right here, but a lot more in depth with 5 different parts to it. So what are the 6 first steps that you should be taking for your agency? I think it's very important to have a general guide, a general plan in your head as to what you're supposed to be doing. So really take your time, write down these things, and make sure you follow them as you're scaling your agency, as you're getting the ball rolling with the process. So here's a quick overview of the 6 steps. Don't worry, I will go a lot more in depth on each of them, but essentially it starts with your mindset. Okay, I know this is boring. Many people want to overlook this, but the number one reason people fail when I work with them is because they give up. If you think about it, I know it's stupid, but if you never give up, you can never technically fail. It might take you longer than other people, but if you don't give up, you will see results. And I'm telling you from experience, from working with over 200 people, people just give up too early. All right, so we're going to be going over mindset because I think it's extremely important. Picking your niche. All right, this is a common question that I get. I will be sharing you a list of niches that we've worked with people before in the past. We know works very well. What service to offer in 2024? The quickest way to sign your first client. Should you hire a media buyer? And then afterwards, what should you do to scale to 10K per month once you sign your first client? Step 1, your mindset. This was me 2 years ago, right? I was stuck in my mom's basement trying to manifest my dreams or my dream into existence. And at the time, my dream was to make 10K per month. I kept saying to myself, I was in college back then, and I kept saying to myself, if I made $10,000 per month, I would be making more than what I'd be making out of university. And I was studying engineering at the time. So for me, that was sort of my objective. I was like, I want to make more than an engineer so that I can sort of justify dropping out, or at least justify focusing on the business rather than doing the traditional career. So what I did, so every morning when I woke up, I would look at the door and I would see $10,000 per month. And every time I would want to be lazy, go out or do something else, then I would of course have to go through that door, and I would always see my goal. So I would be constantly faced with it. And I didn't take a picture of it, which I regret, but my desk was up against the wall and there was also a paper that said 10K a month. So when I was working or watching YouTube and not doing what I was supposed to be doing, I would look up and I would see that piece of paper. Okay, so I really think manifesting your goals and putting it out there is extremely important to this process. Working towards something with a clearly defined goal is crucial for your success. Okay, this is going to give you something tangible to actually chase after, because it's one thing to say to yourself, I want to become rich. But what does rich mean? For some people, 10K per month might mean nothing. But for some people, they want to make $1 million per month. So I think it's very important to have a clearly defined goal in a number format or time format, or something that you can sort of calculate or track. And I'm going to be explaining to you later on in this video why your goal should not be 10K a month and how you should reposition your goals. By having a clearly defined goal, it will give you something tangible to chase after. Okay, it doesn't have to be a money goal. You just need an objective. Complete the objective. What is the objective? Do it. What is the objective? Do it. So again, as mentioned, the number one reason why people fail is they just give up too early. Okay, so anything you can do to help yourself not give up in this process will be the most important thing for you. At the end of the day, it's you versus you. And if you decide to give up, then you will fail. Once we have the mindset straight, we have our goals, we took our piece of paper, we wrote something. You can write 10K a month too, or you can continue watching and I'll tell you what to write on that piece of paper. Once we have that goal in place, then we have to pick who do we go after. We know we're going to do SMMA, we're going to offer some sort of marketing services, but to whom? Many people make the mistake of picking a service and then going after a market or niche. And let me explain to you why that's wrong. If you pick a service and then you sort of force it in an industry or a niche that you want to work with, there might not be a correlation in between them. That specific niche might not need that specific service. It's a lot better to start with a niche and then from there trying to understand what does that niche need? What are they struggling with? And how can my service be tailored specifically to that type of person? Because that's how you should run a business. So here, I basically made a list by picking students from my coaching program who I personally helped hit more than 10K per month in the last 6 months of coaching them. If you pick something in this list and you get in contact with me in that school community and you ask me, Oliver, for flooring, what is the best way to get a client? What should be my offer? How much should I charge? It is very easy for me to tell you what to do because I've already done it before with someone else. Okay, so I go look at my previous data. I go to my old client and I see what worked extremely well for that person. And I use that as inspiration to help you scale as well. Now, a basic rule you can follow is the rule of 3. Okay, this is what I basically tell my students when they come to me with an idea for a niche or, they're unsure of the market that they picked, if it's good or not. Ideally, you want these 3 things. You want something that's high ticket. So they're either selling a high ticket service or a product. The reason being is if someone is selling something at $5,000, $10,000 and you make them 1 sale per month, you are still making them a lot of money for their business. However, if you work with let's say gyms, I'm not saying gyms is a bad niche. We, funny enough, have one student who's making very good money in that niche. It's just you'll have to rely a bit more on the volume because they're typically lower ticket. And when you're working with local businesses, because they are constricted to a location, I cannot bring 1 million new gym memberships every single month to my client. It is physically impossible. However, can I get 1 million sales working with, let's say, e-commerce? The answer is yes. So you can sort of get away with lower ticket when you're working with e-commerce and stuff like that. So for me, from experience, from what I'm seeing, again, you can make money in both sort of instances. I just think working with someone who's doing a high ticket product or service is just a better fit. You want a short sales cycle. So let's say you do help that person make a 10K sale, but let's say they get paid in 6 months for that work. Then that person basically has to wait 6 months to make a ROI on your investment or on the ad spend that they're putting on Facebook, Google, or whatever. And that's not very good because not many businesses can last 6 months without making a profit. So ideally, it's something that's expensive. They go in, do the job, immediately get paid, boom, they're out. That, perfect. Lastly, obviously, a growing market. Okay, you don't want to be working in a dying market. So this is pretty self-evident. So anything that's blue collar, home improvement and stuff like that, it's always going to be in demand. So that's why those are my sort of favorite niches to go after. Now, I want you guys to make me a promise. Once you pick your niche, ideally something in this list, because I know it works, stick with it. Don't start jumping from one thing to the other. It is not going to solve your issues. If someone comes to me and tells me, Oliver, I'm in this niche, I've been outreaching for months and months and I'm not able to book a single call for it, the niche is oversaturated, I'm sorry, but it's a you problem. You can book appointments, you can close deals in every industry, in every niche. Of course, some niches are just not good opportunities. It's not something I would pursue. But if you're not able to even book a single meeting in that specific niche, it is not the niche's fault, it is your fault. A good salesperson can book calls in any single market. It's just, is the market worth going after? That's the next question that person's going to ask themselves. Okay, so if you're not even able to book a single call in that specific niche, do not think that jumping to a different market is going to be the solution to your problem. That is not the case. You have to continue either doing the proper volume or having the skill set to actually book appointments, which again, I'll go over in this video how to do it. Now that we have the proper mindset, we know who we're going to go after, we have to next define what is the service that we're going to be selling to them. Now, because we're doing SMMA agencies, which is my specialty, I frame it more like a marketing agency. So we're offering marketing services. Many people think SMMA equals Facebook ads. Okay, that's not always the case. Facebook ads, the reason why it's popular is because you can get consistent results, especially in a local space. If you work with a local business, it is extremely easy to get them results using Facebook ads, which is why I like to do it. The upside of Facebook ads is that you don't need, or your client doesn't need, a crazy ad budget to get results. With Google ads, can you get amazing results? Yes, but you typically will ask your clients to put a bit more money in ad spend because Google is more expensive to operate. Whereas Facebook, you can get away with a low ad spend and still bring your clients a bunch of results. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to explain is that Facebook ads is good, okay? But I wouldn't just offer Facebook ads as a service. If you come to a local business and you say, hey, I'm going to run your ads, it doesn't mean much, right? I'm not against Facebook ads. Quite the contrary, I like Facebook ads. However, you need to complete the service. What do I mean by this? Let's say your client is here, point A, and they want to get to point B. Typically, point A is their current revenue. So let's say they make $1 million per year, and their goal is to make 5 million per year. Your goal is to do the most things possible to get them to that end goal. The more you do for them and the closer you get them to that goal, the better your service and the more you can charge. So by you just saying, hey, I'm going to set up the ads and run the ads, it's good. You are bringing them to the correct sort of direction, which is getting more appointments, more leads into their business. However, you're not completing the service because when you start running ads and getting leads, who's going to respond to those leads? So now you're adding more work to your client's plate. And then afterwards, of course, are they qualified? Are they the type of people that your client wants to work with? So that also you have to make sure it's good. Okay, so there's small things that we have to take care of in our service delivery, which is very easy to do. It sounds complicated, but it's not complicated. But once you complete the service and you get the client from point A to point B, that's when you have a good service. And this is an example of what you can do. So this right here explains pretty much what you should be offering. It is very difficult for me in a video to tell you exactly what to do because again, depending on your niche, your service will be different. So I cannot tell you exactly what to offer. This is a good framework to follow. So the client is on the left, his current situation, he's stuck at his current revenue level. Your goal is to bring them to their desired situation, which is their revenue goal. What you're going to do is first you're going to do lead generation. Okay, you're going to help them with their offer, the angle that we're going after, what platform, which typically it's Facebook, help them with their personal brand or their business brand, as well as optimize the entire thing. You might even pair them up with a media buyer and have them work in-house into your client's company, and also set up some sort of CRM and nurturing system on our behalf. That will consist of the first part of your service. The second part is when we do appointment setting. So I can bring someone 1,000 leads, but if they don't book a call with me, then what's the point? So we have to set those leads. So we're going to set up a proper follow-up sequence, even maybe a referral system. We're going to reactivate old data as well on top of the leads because they all sort of go through the same funnel. If needed, appointment setters or triage callers. This is extremely important. Your client will get a bunch of leads and they're all going to start texting your clients. You could leave your client to do it. I know some of my students that I work with, they do that. The clients are very happy to do it just because they are experienced. But if you're able to take care of that for your clients and place someone who's experienced to call the leads and get them to book an appointment directly with your local business, that's when you start offering something that's very good and very different to what most people are doing. So you generate the leads and you'll have someone call the leads and make sure that they book an appointment with your client. Lastly, this is optional, okay? You cannot always do this, but if you can help them with their sales process and help them convert those meetings into paying clients, That's when you have sort of the golden formula. You have the 3 magical parts. You get them people who are interested in their service, leads. You actually get them to commit and book a call with your client, and then you help them convert those appointments into paying clients. And that's what's going to help them bring to their desired goal. All right. So as you can see, it's more than just, hey, I run Facebook ads. It's you're here, I will bring you at the end goal, and I will make you X amount of money per year. I will set up the entire system on your behalf. It will work on its own, and it will just spit out money on autopilot once I have everything built and set up into your company. So that's the service that we're going to be offering to our client. Now, obviously, the way you specifically do this will be different depending on the niche that you go after, which is why, again, I do recommend joining our community so you can specifically ask, hey, Oliver, for your roofers, what were you offering? What was the exact service that you were doing for them to be super happy and pay you high ticket every single month? Now, the next part, once you know who you're going after, you know what you're offering to these people. From there, yes, learn the basics of your service delivery, try to understand, maybe buy some courses, like cheap courses on Udemy, but I wouldn't go super in depth and crazy as to like how to do it. I will explain later on in the video why that's the case. Now, the quickest way to actually sign your first client is pretty interesting. I've done cold calls, cold calling, cold email, basically all of the popular methods on how to get clients. And without a doubt, if you're just starting out, which I assume you don't have a bunch of capital to invest into ads and stuff like that, the quickest way for you to sign your first client will be by cold calling. It is how I scaled my agency from 0 to 10. All I did was cold calling. And it's what I'm seeing most of my clients doing to see success with their agencies. The reason why I like cold calling is annoying. It's not fun. You're talking to people every day. But by cold calling, you force yourself to actually speak with your potential clients. All right. So you get a bit more accustomed to having conversations with potential buyers. And when you do book appointments and you hop on a sales call, it will not be the first time that you're actually having a face-to-face conversation with someone. Okay. You've done it a million times over the phone. It's just now you have a video in between you and the prospect. And the issue, what I see with people who are just starting out and they're cold DMing or stuff like, or cold emailing, is yes, they can book appointments as well. They never really interact with the client. So when you do hop on a sales call, it is complete chaos. Whereas you bring me someone who's been doing 100 cold calls every single day, and you put them in a Zoom call in front of a client and you have to speak with them. For them, it is not that difficult. They're like, yeah, I always do this over the phone. It's basically the same thing. I just do it with a video now. Okay, that's why I like cold calling. And also you directly place yourself in front of the prospect and you can right away have a conversation. Okay, so it's easy to sort of feel the vibe, speak with them, and it's more personalized of a touch. Here are the numbers behind it. Okay, this is a direct screenshot of what I wrote to myself when I started my agency and how I wanted to make 10K in 90 days. I used really bad numbers. I assumed that it would take me 10 meetings to get 1 paying client. And to book 1 meeting, I would have to do 100 cold calls, which if you're just starting out, these are realistic numbers. It might take you 200 cold calls to get your first meeting, but over time it's going to average out. And for someone who's not like super good, I think 1 meeting per 100 cold call is realistic. But I think for most of you guys, like every 20 call or so, you should be booking a meeting into your business. Therefore, if I use these numbers, I would need 1,000 cold calls to get 1 paying client. If I want 5 clients, then I would need 5,000 calls, and at 2K per month each. And obviously you only cold call on working days, you don't cold call on the weekends. So 60 working days in a 3-month period. If I need a total of 5,000 calls and I have 60 days to do it, I would have to do 85 cold calls per working day to reach the goal. As you can see, it's a numbers game. Okay? It is not rocket science. It's not complicated. It goes back to what I said previously about the mindset. The number one reason why people fail is because they cold call for maybe a day or two and then they give up. They're like, it doesn't work for me. I didn't book a call. I don't like cold calling. I don't like talking with people. People are mean on the phone, and they give up. Like, do you honestly believe if you cold call 100 businesses every single day, there's one person that's going to say, okay, yeah, I'll give you a shot. Let's hop on a call and see what you're doing. Okay, the obvious answer should be yes. Someone's going to say yes. Okay, and if you have a good offer, which is, if you're following what we do and you charge accordingly and everything, it will make sense. Okay, they will say yes to work with you. It is not rocket science. So this right here, side note, you remember that piece of paper that I mentioned to you guys that you should stick to your door? I think a better goal to set for yourself on that piece of paper is this. I will do 85 cold calls per day instead of 10K per month, because this will actually hold you accountable. It will make sure that you do your cold calls every single day. Because again, from experience, this is where most people give up. And of course, in my school group, which is free, again, in the description, there's a link to join. There's going to be a copy of the exact cold calling script that I used for my agency and that all of my students are also using for their agencies. Once you start booking calls, you start speaking with potential prospects, the next natural question should be, should you hire a media buyer? Too many people jump into this thinking they can just hire a couple of people and outsource everything. The reality is that you'll need a big team and lots of money to make this happen. I've only recently been able to do this, and that's only after hitting 100K per month. You're going to be in this for a while, so learn to love the game. So this fantasy of you being able to hire 2-3 guys and having the business that runs on its own while you go to school full-time, you work full-time, or you go in the Bahamas and you never touch the business again, get that out of your head, okay? It's not that simple to do. At scale, once you're making a bunch of money, you have the experience, you have the proper people, the proper talent, 100% it's doable, okay? You can never, I don't believe you can 100% remove yourself from a business. I think you're also always going to be like sort of in it. But for me, outsourced and removing yourself from the business means that you're not like a crucial part. That even if you do leave for a week, people are still like, things are happening, you're making money, clients are happy and everything. That for me is what outsource means. The common question I get is, should you hire a media buyer? My obvious answer is yes. Okay. I don't think it's worth the hassle of trying to learn how to run ads and all of these things. Find someone who knows how to do it. They don't want to start their own business. They don't want to cold call. They don't want to outreach. They just love running ads. Pair yourself with that person, not business partners 50-50. Just hire them and then have them do the service delivery for your clients. Okay, it's as simple as that. You just need to find a good person, which is very important. Again, in our community, we have access to a bunch of media buyers. So if you want one, just send us a message. We'll give you access to them. But finding that right talent is extremely important, because good talent allows you to just remove yourself from the process when it comes to fulfillment and not have to sort of worry about, oh my God, are my clients happy? How do I set up the ads? Ads are not working. What do I do differently? I don't know how to run ads. Okay, so outsource that at the beginning and then worry about the acquisition and sales and hiring cold callers and stuff like that. Lastly, scaling to 10K a month. Now you should have a pretty good understanding of the basics of how it sort of works and operates, but how do you actually bring this to 10K a month? It's not rocket science again, okay? It's just copy paste exactly what I taught you guys, okay? So you have the niche, you know what you're pitching, you start cold calling, you book calls, you close those deals, and you have your fulfillment guy take care of everything, okay? It's not rocket science. You just increase the volume, you do it long enough, and you will sign multiple clients. At the end of the day, you are building a business. Okay, this is not easy to do. Most businesses will fail within their first year. It's 90% actually. 90% of businesses will fail in their first year of operating. So this process is not going to be easy. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would have a business and everyone would be making money. So my advice to you is to work with people who have already done it before in the past. Okay, why do this by yourself? It makes no sense. So as you can see, we have one member of our program. Thoughts on my Loom video DM script. How are you supposed to know if your script for your Loom video is good or not? Through a YouTube video. By copying what one guy randomly said on YouTube, hoping that it's good, and that probably 100 other people copied it and are also spamming the same message. In the proper community, you should have access to good people that can give you quick answers and customized answers specifically to you. No one can tell you what's a perfect Loom script if they don't know what your service, your offer, the experience you have with the media buyers that you're working with. There's so many factors that come into play that through a YouTube video, they cannot specifically tell you what to do in the script. It doesn't make any sense, okay? So this is why you can get my help, my other people in the program that I showed, people who have success for free. As you can see, again, here's one question I was asked. And then here, I took a look at his thing. I gave him my feedback on everything. And as you can see, there's more replies and everything that I basically continued the conversation with him on Skull. Unfortunately, I cannot hop on one-on-one calls with everyone. However, this is one easy way I can help, okay? Just by text. If you make a post in the group, I will answer it. It's very easy for me to do. It takes 2 seconds. So as you can see, here are more people that I've helped in the past. So we have Abraham, who signed his first client. Damien also signed his first client. And then Kindness signed his first client. Yeah, so as you can see, it is not rocket science. Everyone's doing it. You can do it as well. It's just about, are you willing to put in the effort? And more importantly, are you prepared to be consistent with what you're supposed to be doing? Which is the outreach for most of you guys. Are you ready to be consistent with your cold calls? So go out there and fucking crush it. Then, as mentioned, link in the description to join our free Skull group. I would love to hear a bit about you guys, hear your story. I'm very active on there. It is the best way to sort of build a community. I want to meet more people. Link in the description, join, and I will personally welcome you and start helping you with your agency. Best of luck, don't give up, and don't be lazy.